Hi to everyone. I'm Pratyusha, pharmacologist. Actually, in the previous class, I already discussed about the NSAIDs definition, classification, mechanism of action and administration. Now today I want to discuss about adverse effects of NSAIDs. Coming to adverse effects of NSAIDs. Adverse effects of what? NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Coming to adverse effects of NSAIDs, they are mainly affecting effects mainly here gastric mucosa. Okay, gastric mucosa. Gastric mucosa. Here first affects mainly gastric mucosa, renal system also. Renal system. It affects mainly adverse effects of NSAIDs. Mainly it affects gastric mucosa and renal system, cardiovascular system also. What here? Cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system. What are the effects of NSAIDs? Gastric mucosa, renal system, cardiovascular system, hepatic system. Hepatic system. Hepatic system and hematologic systems also. Hematologic system. Hematology systems. Hematologic systems. I can repeat again. Mainly affects gastric mucosa, renal system, cardiovascular system, hepatic system and hematologic systems. Coming to gastric adverse effects. What are the gastric adverse effects of NSAIDs? Let us discuss about the gastric effects. Gastric effects. Coming to gastric effects, here these gastric adverse effects means are likely due to the inhibition of the COX-1. Okay, likely due to inhibition of COX-1. Inhibition of COX-1. Mainly preventing the creation of prostaglandins. Preventing the creation of prostaglandins, maybe that particular that protect the gastric mucosa. That protect gastric mucosa. Okay, these I can repeat again. These gastric adverse effects are likely due to the inhibition of COX-1, preventing that protect the gastric mucosa, and here the damage is there. The damage is more likely in a patient that has a prior history of peptic ulcers. Here this is a main adverse effect, since it is COX-1 here. Inhibition is there. These COX-1 is the specific. The use of COX-2 here. COX-2 selective NSAIDs. COX-2 selective NSAIDs is a lower risk here. Alternatively, I can repeat again this. Or here the inhibition of COX-1 means preventing the creation of prostaglandins. already the COX-1 is there. It protects the gastric mucosa, and maybe non-selective. Alternatively, these NSAIDs, particularly the use of COX-2 selective NSAIDs, is a lower risk. Alternatively, since these COX-1 specific, the use of COX-2 selective NSAIDs is a lower risk. Alternatively, this is the gastric adverse effects. Here, preventing is there, preventing the creation of the prostaglandins. Okay, this is about the gastric effects and preventing COX-1. Okay, maybe this is about coming to and renal adverse effects. Coming to renal adverse effects. Actually, coming to here, these renal adverse effects are because COX-1 and COX-2 facilitate here. COX-1, COX-2 facilitate here. Basically, the production of prostaglandins plays a major role in renal hemodynamics. Okay, I can repeat again. Plays a role in renal hemodynamics. Renal hemodynamics. Actually, here in a patient with normal renal function. In a patient with a normal renal function, inhibition of prostaglandins synthesis. Okay, inhibition of the prostaglandin synthesis and does not pose a large problem. However, in a patient with renal dysfunction, I mean in a patient with a renal dysfunction, these prostaglandins play a greater role. Okay, these prostaglandins play a greater role and can be the source of problems when reduces via NSAIDs. Here the complications may occur include acute renal dysfunction. Acute renal dysfunction. Complications. Okay, these are the some major complications that may be occur include maybe renal dysfunction and fluid and some electrolytes disorders. What here? Electrolyte disorders. Here, coming to an electrolyte disorder, some renal papillary necrosis is there. Renal papillary necrosis is there. These are some complications and nephrotic syndrome. As in maybe interstitial nephritis is there. Nephrotic syndrome. Okay, nephrotic syndrome and interstitial nephritis is there. Interstitial nephritis. These are all the complications which are under we have seen when NSAIDs are used in a chronic, a prolonged period of time. Maybe renal adverse effects are like this. They are the major complications. I already told about the major complications may occur include some acute renal dysfunction and some fluid problems and electrolyte disorders, renal papillary necrosis is there and nephrotic syndrome is there and interstitial nephritis is also there. Coming to cardiovascular adverse effects. Coming to what here? Cardiovascular adverse effects. In this cardiovascular adverse effects can also be increased with NSAID. Can also be increased with the NSAID. Here use these include some thrombolic problems, thrombolic events, and atrial fibrillation may be increased with NSAID. These are some problems which are suffering from that particular patient, include some thrombolic events. Thrombolic events, atrial fibrillation, These are the problems. And diclofenac. Diclofenac is a drug which seems to be the NSAID with the highest reported increase in adverse cardiovascular events. Actually, here this diclofenac seems to be NSAID with the highest reported increase in adverse cardiovascular events. Basically, this diclofenac, it is reported highest risk. This is about the cardiovascular adverse effects. Nothing but here can also that is increased with NSAID. Use of these NSAIDs, these include maybe prolonged period. I already told, it's a prolonged usage of any drug which leads to some problems. That problems including in cardiovascular adverse effects means thrombolic events. Some thrombolic events are there and atrial fibrillation is there. Basically, this diclofenac sodium is seemed to be highestly reported because NSAID. It is NSAID basically, and increase in adverse cardiovascular events. Coming to hepatic adverse effects. Coming to hepatic adverse effects. Coming to hepatic adverse effects. Hepatic adverse effects. These hepatic adverse effects are less common NSAID associated risk of hepatotoxicity. These hepatic adverse effects are less common NSAID associated with what? Hepatotoxicity. It is a high risk. Uses of these NSAIDs associated with a high risk of the hepatotoxicity here. Means raised administration levels. It raised the administration levels is not a very common and liver related hospitalization. I'm saying here it raised administration levels is not very common and liver related hospitalization. It is a very rare in the some very rare conditions. Among the various NSAIDs, including the diclofenac. Diclofenac is a drug have a higher rate of hepatotoxicity effects. Are you observing here? The diclofenac is a drug which, this is the only one drug which is it leads to hepatotoxicity easily. These has a higher rate of risk of hepatotoxic effects. This is about the hepatic adverse effect or less common NSAID associated risk of hepatotoxicity. Here raised administration means here raised administration levels raised maybe here the one of the enzyme aminotransferase levels. It raised the aminotransferase levels. This is the aminotransferase level. These mainly here it rises the aminotransferase levels. Okay, it rises the aminotransferase levels. It is not very common. Is not very common, and liver related hospitalization, okay, is a very rare conditions or in very rare cases. Among the various NSAIDs, maybe the diclofenac, for example, we taken the diclofenac has a higher rate of hepatotoxic effects. Hepatotoxic effects. This is about the hepatic adverse effects. Coming to the hematologic adverse effects. Coming to the hematologic adverse effects. Hematologic adverse effects. In this hematologic adverse effects are possible particularly we have seen in with the non-selective NSAIDs. Non-selective NSAIDs. Non-selective NSAIDs due to their antiplatelet activity. Okay, due to their antiplatelet activity. Antiplatelet activity. Here these antiplatelet effect typically only poses a problem here. Antiplatelet activity. These antiplatelet effect typically only poses a problem here. If the patient has maybe if the patients may be suffering from GI ulcers. GI ulcers. In some conditions, GI ulcers of diseases like that diseases. GI ulcers of that diseases. Okay, this is about the hematologic adverse effects. Okay, that here history of GI ulcers. Maybe in the hematologic adverse effects, it leads to history of GI ulcers, diseases of impaired platelet activity. Impaired platelet activity. Okay, and nothing but hemophilia, thrombocytopenia. Other minor adverse effects include anaphylactoid reactions that mainly involve the skin and pulmonary systems, like urticaria and aspirin. Aspirin exacerbated respiratory diseases also. Here coming to these hematologic adverse effects, these antiplatelet activity, maybe in some these antiplatelet activity is increased and maybe it leads to some of the conditions like GI ulcers and some of the diseases, impairment of platelet activity like hemophilia. Okay, thrombocytopenia. And other minor adverse effects are also include anaphylactoid reactions. Anaphylactoid reactions means that involve the skin and pulmonary systems. Skin and pulmonary systems. Here we observe in these pulmonary systems means like urticaria. Okay, like urticaria and aspirin. Aspirin is one of the salicylate exacerbated respiratory diseases. Aspirin is a drug exacerbated respiratory diseases here. Coming to the contraindications of NSAIDs. Contraindications. Coming to contraindications of NSAIDs. Contraindications of NSAIDs means coming to here. The NSAIDs are contraindicated in patients with NSAIDs hypersensitivity. Hypersensitivity is there. Hypersensitivity means the NSAIDs with NSAID hypersensitivity or salicylates hypersensitivity is there, as well as in patients who have experienced an allergic reaction, urticaria, asthma, etc. after taking NSAIDs, who have undergone coronary artery bypass graft surgery. Okay, here I'm saying is these salicylates hypersensitivity with NSAID hypersensitivity, or means a salicylate hypersensitivity. Clear? Salicylate hypersensitivity, as well as in patients who have experienced, like I already told, an allergic reaction, skin allergic reactions like urticaria, allergic reactions, urticaria, asthma, maybe etc. some diseases, after taking these NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, after taking these NSAIDs, who have undergone coronary artery bypass graft surgery. Coronary artery bypass graft surgery. Okay, basically it is a major contraindication who have undergone coronary bypass graft surgery, who are just avoid the NSAIDs, because these NSAIDs contraindicated in this condition. Okay, during the I am saying another point here. During the third trimester of pregnancies, in the third trimester of pregnancies, who are in the third trimester of pregnancies, avoid these non-steroidal